Hey, what is up, Illinois Student Ministries? It is time for episode 3 of the ISM Show. Today, we are going to be interviewing Joey Silva, and we're going to be having some pretty amazing conversation about what you think is the best fast food restaurant on the planet. So, let's go ahead and kick it. Welcome to the ISM Show, week number 3. Real quick, before we get started, we want you to stay on tap with everything that the ISM Show has going on. So make sure that you follow us on Facebook, follow us and subscribe to us on YouTube. Make sure that you are catching us on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify as well, so that you can stay up to date with everything that the ISM Show has going on and that you are not missing any of our super fun debates or super deep and inspiring conversations. So to kick things off this week, we just wanted to have one of those kind of conversations. I'm sure you guys saw the Facebook post, the social media post that we released earlier in the week, asking the ISM family what their favorite fast food was.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to put this question to you. And listen, students and leaders, when you're watching the show, please make sure to comment below what you think your favorite fast food is. Get involved in the debate and keep it civil, people. All right? Keep it civil. We're Christians. Yep. Right? Keep it civil. So I'm going to ask you really quickly, what is your favorite fast food restaurant? Like, if you could only have one fast food restaurant for the rest of your life.
The rest of my life. Well,
what would it be?
If anyone knows me, Taco Bell, 100%, every day, all the time.
It's real, authentic food.
When I think about authentic food, what I think about is when I order a taco, man, am I going to get a nacho cheese shell or a Cool Ranch shell?
It's all about quantity, quality, and the price.
Okay.
Quality.
I'll give you I'll give you 2 of the 3 of those.
Okay. But think
I don't know if
about
I'm giving you quality when we're talking about Taco Bell.
But think about it, okay? You can get.
I'm getting gas thinking about
literally,
it.
you can get a box of 12 tacos for like $5.
Is that a good thing?
Yes.
Is that a good
Yes,
thing?
it is. You want to party with your friends? Get a 12-pack for like $5. You're good to go for a solid 2 hours.
Okay. First, it's going to take you 2 hours with your homies to eat 12 tacos. See, that's a problem.
No,
that's a problem.
Okay. If I'm being real, it would probably take you. It would probably take you. Like, it would probably take everyone like 10 minutes.
Oh, it would. Okay.
Yeah.
So for you, it's Taco Bell. For you, it's Taco Bell.
Taco Bell.
Because it's the most authentic food, right?
Not because it's the most authentic.
Is Noah Anderson out there watching right now? Noah Anderson goes on these social media tirades about how authentic Taco Bell is. And I'm just like, Taco Bell doesn't say that they're even authentic. Like Taco Bell is like, we're not authentic, people. Like we're not authentic.
Beef, though. That's all I know.
100% beef is the name of the company. You can. That's why they can say it's 100% beef, made with 100% beef. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Probably.
Got him.
So, anyways, Josh, what's your favorite fast food?
Mine is like between 2 actually, and it is Wendy's or Chick-fil-A.
Oh, Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, just depending on the day.
You're such a good PK Christian boy.
I love the Lord. The Lord's chicken. What'd you say?
You said depending on the day. It can't be Sunday.
I get Wendy's on Sunday.
Well,
Okay, first of all, let's not limit the Lord.
I can get Taco Bell on Sunday.
Let's not limit the Lord. All the chickens are the Lord's chickens, right? All the chickens are the Lord's chickens.
I mean, you're not wrong.
It's just Chick-fil-A honors the Lord with their chickens.
Yeah.
We give your chicken back to you, Lord, right?
Yeah.
So okay, so why?
Thing.
What's so good about Chick-fil-A?
I don't know. I just like it a lot. Like, I love the chicken nuggets. Like, I've been getting them since I was a little kid. And so, like, but, like, where we lived, any place we've lived in my life, like, we haven't been close to a Chick-fil-A. So, like, when we were little, we'd get them, like, every once in a while. So, it was like a rare occurrence, like a treasure to get
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A nuggets. And it was like, this is amazing.
Oh, my gosh.
And so now
the Chick-fil-A nuggets, no joke, are super, super good.
Yeah.
And let's just talk about something. Those Chick-fil-A waffle fries, which, by the way, is the best French fry that's on the market.
I'll give you that.
The waffle fry is the best French fry out there. Not the curly fry, not the crinkle cut fry, not the shoestring fry. not the regular fry.
The curly.
It's the
Not
waffle
the
fry.
waffle fry.
The waffle fry.
My bad.
Yeah, it's
Well,
no contest.
The curly fries are like the weird chest hair of the French fried world.
Yep.
They're just
Yep,
weird.
I have to say.
They're just weird. Nobody likes curly fries. Well, some people like curly
I like
fries,
'em, but
we will
The
not.
only
name
thing I
them.
like
fries are
about
better.
curly fries is just being able to.
Okay, yeah.
you see
So
it
they're
bounce.
fun to play with, but they're mushy to eat. They're just disgusting. They don't hold the crisp.
No, not at all.
You know
It's
what I mean?
100% mush.
Yeah, it's 100% mushiness and just grossness. But let's just get back to this Chick-fil-A conversation because you say it's the Lord's chicken, but I got to tell you, there's a contender out there. I believe that the Popeyes chicken sandwich is better
Okay.
than the.
No.
Okay. Hear me out.
I will side with Chick-fil-A on this
Okay, but
one.
hear me out.
No.
Hear me out. I think Chick-fil-A is the better chicken fast food restaurant, hands down. If you were to ask me overall, would you choose Popeyes or would you choose Chick-fil-A? I'm choosing Chick-fil-A every day except for Sunday because they're not open, right? But if you were to go and get the best Popeyes chicken sandwich, because there's some ratchet Popeyes out there. There just is. There's some Popeyes where it's just like you need to wear a hazmat suit walking in to the Popeyes restaurant. But if you were to go to a good Popeyes restaurant and you just had the perfect chicken sandwich, fresh, delivered to you, I'm telling you that Popeyes chicken sandwich is better than the best Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich.
I don't know.
Oh,
The,
so you're
the
going
Popeyes chicken sandwich has been around forever, though. Like,
Has
it's-
it?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Like, it's not like oh, this is a
Somebody
new thing.
fact check
It's just
that.
now better.
Somebody fact check that. It's not a new thing.
I don't think so. I'm right all the time, so I mean,
Okay.
it's like
Oh,
know.
absolutely.
Wow.
Okay, so so now that we got your guys' opinions on what you believe is the best fast food restaurant, we want you guys to go ahead and comment below. What do you think the best fast food restaurant is? What is it that you could not possibly live without? For me, it's Chipotle. I love Chipotle. I just think it's so good. Wendy's is a close second though. But the thing is that I think that Chipotle is just a different echelon. It's just a different level. It's a fancier fast food restaurant.
what does
I would put it at,
echelon mean?
well,
Yeah, what does echelon mean?
okay, we're not. How are you in college? All right. Get them back in school. Online learning is not working. All right. So, I just think like Chipotle's on the same level as like a Portillo's, right? It's just a nicer fast food restaurant, right? I just think
I agree.
You think Portillo's is nice?
I think Portillo's is nice. I think
you walk
Portillo's
into
is
a
nice.
Portillo's, dude.
Come on.
Looks nice.
I'm wrong.
Are you going to start attacking Portillo's?
You're wrong now.
I'm wrong.
Are you going to start attacking Portillo's?
No, I'm not. I love Portillo's. I just didn't.
You should.
All right.
It's an institution and it's delicious. All right. So I think for me, Chipotle, the chips, the guac, the burritos, I love the restaurant. I just think it's super, super good. That's where I would take Christina on a really fancy date, guys. That's
Quality.
That's where you go.
See your
Quality
standards. Okay.
and quantity.
Quality and quality.
good and you get
quality.
full.
Quality full. Quality. Quality.
The price on that though, a little too much.
Yeah,
A
it's
little too much.
it's that $1.50 more you pay is really going to break the bank.
Yeah.
But I get you, right? Like Chipotle's better than Taco Bell. Just stop. So really quickly, I'm excited, guys, because we are going to be jumping into an interview with Pastor Joey Silva from Belmont Assembly in Chicago, Illinois, God's favorite city. We're really excited, guys. I'm excited to be interviewing Pastor Joey. Earlier in the week, I talked to him about the conversation that I wanted to have, and the conversation that I want to have with P. Joey today is this: what do you wish your students really knew about you, about youth pastors, about youth ministry in general? Like, what is it that you wish you could get your students to really understand about the position you're in and about kind of what you go through on a daily basis? And I'm really excited to have that conversation with them because I think it's going to be really insightful for our students, because I think it's really important for our students to know, like what your youth pastors go through, to get a behind the scenes look. Because I'm going to be real with you guys. There's a lot of things that we wish we could say to our students from the stage, but it would sound really self-serving, or it would sound maybe overly harsh, or we're just really conflicted about some of the things that we would want to say to you guys. So having that conversation with Joey in a really safe place where we can just kind of help you students kind of understand our perspective and where we're coming from, I think it's going to be really important for you guys to hear this out. So make sure you tune into that interview. But before we jump into that interview, I wanted to pose the question to you guys, but I wanted to flip the script, right? So from a student's perspective, what do you wish your youth pastors knew coming from the heart of a student? Like maybe things that you're too afraid to tell your youth pastor to go up and say because maybe you're afraid of confrontation or you don't want to sound disrespectful. Like what are some things that you wish you could say to your youth pastor?
Okay. I got one. This is a story from whenever you were my youth pastor. So, it was whenever you once tore your ACL, and it was during the time.
That was the worst.
Yes,
That was off. Thanks for reminding me, by the way. Appreciate that.
But it was during my senior year, and I was on homecoming court, and so it was like a big deal for me. And you still showed up despite the fact that you were hobbling around on one leg with crutches.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It was you and Christina there, and it was a homecoming game, and it was just a great moment for me. It meant a lot for me, and so one thing that I would love to tell and encourage youth pastors with is just the fact that the small things really do matter. Like it may not seem like it does to us at first. We may not ever say it. We may not ever always bring it up and talk to you about it, but they really do matter. Just the smallest gestures and anything you can do to show us that you're there.
Yeah, that's really good. And one of the things that I would say about that too is that I think as youth pastors, we're always expecting our students to show up on our turf. We're always expecting our students to show up when we open the doors to the thing that we think is most important to us. But I think what you're saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that, we'll show up for you, but can you show up for us too? Can you show up to our games? Can you show up to the things that are very important to us? And I think a lot of youth pastors can grow from that. Yeah. Don't expect us to show up to what's important to you if you're unwilling to not show up to what's important to us. So, no, that's really good. Josh, you were going to say something. Sorry for interrupting you, man.
No, you're good. It kind of goes with that, but, along with, the things that are important to us, even on a simpler note, just, hanging out outside of church service, too. So, Wednesday nights, we, obviously you're there for service and stuff, and afterwards, you didn't really see him till next week. Something that, I wish we could have done more was hang out more or, go somewhere, do something, just one day out of the week other than the Wednesday night we're hanging out. Because, for me, I'm a big relationship builder guy, so being able to hang out with you, being able to ask questions, just to get to know you more is showing me that, you want this, you want to do more than just see me on a Wednesday night, preach a service, and go home. You're looking for a true relationship with the people that, with the people in your youth ministry. And so I kind of lost my train of thought.
No, that's good though. No, that's so good. That's so powerful. And I think a student voicing that would be really important to a youth pastor. And I think there's a lot of youth pastors that are out there too. And I think students, you need to realize something, that we don't have as much expendable time as you do. And I know that a lot of you guys don't have a lot of expendable time either. So please don't hear that with the wrong heart. I know that you guys have work, you have school, you have sports, you have extracurricular activities, you're doing a ton of studying, but understand that your youth pastor also has responsibilities at the church. A lot of your youth pastors have families, and a lot of your youth pastors have very young children. And so what your youth pastors are trying to do is they're trying to balance their relationship with you and pouring into your life, and also balancing being present at church and serving their leaders and being asked to do multiple things at the church. And they're also trying to be present for their families. So please be patient with your youth pastors if a season of time has gone by and they haven't really connected with you. I think for students, and maybe this is getting into a little bit of our conversation with P. Joey, is I think it's really important for you to understand that if your youth pastor hasn't connected with you in a while, I think instead of jumping to being offended or jumping to being hurt, maybe you should jump to being empathetic instead and saying, okay, what's going on in my youth pastor's life right now? Maybe I should reach out and just be like, hey, I haven't heard from you in a while. Are you doing okay? Mm-hmm. Is there something going on in your life? Do you need help with something? Do you need a babysitter so you and your wife can go out on a date? Are you just experiencing a busy season right now? Because I think what ends up happening is we see the youth pastor as like the main force of discipleship in our youth ministry, and that's how it should be. But you guys can disciple too. and you can reciprocate the discipleship. You can reciprocate those questions and make sure that your youth pastor is doing okay. Like at the end of the day, we're a family and we're trying to take care of each other. And just because your youth pastor hasn't talked to you in a couple of weeks or a month, it doesn't mean that they don't want to. It just means that there is probably so much on their plate right now. But youth pastors, the reverse of that, like if you're just being like, if you're not like reaching out and trying to spend time with your students outside of youth ministry, you're just, what are you doing? Like that's so key. That's so critical. And I'm really glad that you guys brought that up. So anyways, I'm really excited to get into this conversation with P. Joey. And we're going to be talking again about what your youth pastors wish you as students knew. So check out this interview with Pastor Joey Silva.
I think one of the ones that is important is that students need to understand that a majority of their pastors, at least the ones that I know, we're not all about the numbers, but there is a tension of job, and there is a tension that they have to balance to justify their employment. Mm-hmm. And so from the top down, from their board, from their senior pastors, there are very few quantifiable things they can look at to measure the success of their youth pastor. And one of those, like it or not, very often are attendance numbers. And so if you're paying a guy several $1,000s, whatever the salary is for that employee, and, let's just say you're paying him $25,000 and he's got 5 kids in his youth ministry for the last year, that senior pastor is going to start to ask the question, is that, can I justify this hire based on his production? Now, I don't know if that's biblical. I don't know if that's right, because we could say, well, those 5 kids can be world changers and we could be discipling really well. And that's very true. But it's also true that there is a tension to say, listen, this is what we're paying you to do, a job to not just raise up disciples, but to go out and do the work of an evangelist and do the work of a media guy, because no pastor wears one hat. So there are all these things, and there's a justifiable, quantifiable thing that they look at. And sadly, a lot of times that's the amount of students that there are. And so, when you see a pastor saying, hey, we want you to bring your friends, know that the majority of that is because they want to see kids get saved.
Yes.
But there's also part of their way back, and I think I've always tried to bury that part, but I can't ignore it. I have to justify the fact that they paid me a full-time salary or anything to do this job, and am I doing the best possible job I can do? And there's a weird, again, because we want to try to be spiritual, we don't want to let this get into our spirit, that there's a weird tension that pastors have to balance when it comes to the ministry numbers.
That's right on the money. And, I think sometimes students can get caught into this, well, man, I wish my youth ministry would grow. And I think the youth ministry would grow if you cared more about your friend's salvation than your youth pastor did.
Amen.
I think it's one of those moments where it's become very easy for us to abdicate our responsibility to reaching the lost in our community to only our youth pastors. And students, it's your job to grow that youth ministry. The youth pastor is there to create a fun and safe atmosphere where your students can enter into a system where they can connect themselves to Jesus, but they can't be the main bringer. You have to be the main bringer. You have to be the main bragger. You are in partnership with your youth pastor to create the youth ministry. Your youth pastor isn't just the youth ministry. It's you guys together as the body of Christ with your youth pastor leading the vision that's trying to reach your community. And students, I love you. Like, you have got to stop shoveling that responsibility off on your youth pastors and saying that the reason my youth ministry isn't growing is because my youth pastor is this or my youth pastor doesn't do that. Now listen, youth pastors, there is a moment where we have to draw a line in the sand and evaluate ourselves. Am I doing everything I can? Am I being present in my students' life? Am I creating discipleship opportunities? Am I showing up at their games? But students, if your youth pastor is doing that and you are not bringing students to your youth pastor and saying, this is my youth pastor, if you're not going down the hallways of your church or of your school and telling your friends about your church, then there's only so much your youth pastor can do, really. Like, we can't show up in the minivan in front of your school and tell people to get inside. We'll go to jail, right? You guys have to be the main bringers. You just do. Partner with us. We wish you knew how much we wanted you to partner with us in reaching your schools and reaching the community. You want to see the miracles? Make the miracles happen.
Yeah, I think too often people want to be part of winning organizations as opposed to building winning organizations.
Yeah.
And they want to be part of things that are ready-made, that are already set up, so that they can just jump on the bandwagon and say, look what we did, as opposed to saying, look what we built.
Yes.
And again, I think if they can get on the ground floor with that, and the pastor doesn't feel like I'm the only one who cares about this, then I think you take a lot of that tension off of his shoulders and that fear of job security and whether or not he's going to be able to be here long term, because you've ensured that the ministry is thriving because of your love for the lost, and not just, well, this is what we come to.
When the Cubs won the World Series in 2016, it was a really special moment for me. I know it was a really special moment for you too, as fans, as spectators. How much more special was it for Anthony Rizzo and Javi Baez and Chris Bryant and David Ross? How much more special was it for the guys that actually participated and actually had a part to play in winning that championship? They were on the field, they were doing their jobs. And students, in much the same way, we want you to be on the field with us. We don't want you to just be spectators. We love the cheering, we love you being in the stands, and we love you celebrating the victories, but we want you to be a part of the victory, not just part of watching the victory take place.
Amen. If I can jump into another one, this is one that I think you got to listen to when I say this, because it took me a while to figure this out, and I think it's starting to make more sense now that I'm a dad. But I really wish students understood that we don't love all the students equally. We love them uniquely.
Yes.
And I think, you particularly, Chris, since you got 3 kids, you don't love your 3 children the same way. There's unique personalities. There's times where, one might need to be a little bit more encouraged than another. There's seasons in their lives where you're treating them differently. There's a season where, you were still spoon feeding Corbin, and you didn't have to do that with Caleb anymore. And so there's different stages in that. And I think sometimes kids get frustrated because they think, oh, well, you got favorites, you like that kid more, or you never pay attention to me, or you like this, you're like that. Even with leadership, oh, my leader doesn't do this, they only like that person. And I think it's important you understand, we don't love you all the same. We don't have the same relationships with all of you.
Right.
There's a lot of times where it's like, well, you expect them to know everything, but you don't talk to us, you don't open up, you don't share things. And so it's like, yeah, I talk to this kid a lot because this kid talks to me a lot. And there's a relationship that we've built over 5-6 years, and I just got to know you. So this is still new. And so I think just helping to understand that there's unique relationships that you're going to have. I may not be able to get as close to a young girl than I would to a young man just because of optics and guarding myself in certain situations. But it doesn't mean I love them any less. I just love them differently.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's so easy. I think clique and favoritism, those are such easy words to throw out there. Like, they're just such easy words to throw out there. But before you throw that word out there, have you talked to your youth pastor about why? Have you expressed how you're feeling on the inside? Have you had an honest conversation with them about the way that you're feeling? I think it's more important to go to them with how you're feeling than to go behind their back about how you're feeling. I mean, I think sometimes, and I think you nailed it. We love you guys uniquely. And as a youth pastor, really, I'm trying to do 2 things in your life. I'm trying to help you know Jesus, and I'm trying to equip you to make Jesus known. But like, if you could simplify my job in your life to its kind of like basic foundation, I think that would be it. I am trying to help you know Jesus, and I'm trying to equip you to make Jesus known. I have some students who aren't interested in knowing Jesus or making Jesus known. I have some students who are interested, or just this is the level they're at. I just need to get to know Jesus more. And I have some students who are at the level where they want to know Jesus more and make Jesus known. And I have to love those students based on where they're at in very unique ways. Look, I'm not putting a student on the stage that's living like hell outside of my youth ministry. I'm sorry. That's not how this works, right? I have a responsibility to the Lord for who gets on my stage. I will disciple you until you can get on that stage, until you can be a positive role model and a positive example. But before you get honest with your youth pastor about how you're feeling, make sure you're being honest with yourself as well. We want to help you along the way. But Joey, I think that's just, man, good stuff. Great insight, Pastor Joey.
Even looking at that, I think about the disciples, and I think it could have been easy for Judas to say there's cliques, that Jesus only likes Peter, James, and John, and they get to see the transfiguration, and they were invited to pray with Jesus at the Garden of Gethsemane, and Jesus has favorites, right? But at the same time, you don't see Judas, like James and John, asking to sit at the right and the left hand of the Father.
Right.
You don't see Judas pulling a sword out and cutting off the ear of a guy who got too close to Jesus because he's going to protect him and he's going to make sure he's there for him. You see Judas stealing and lying and ultimately betraying Jesus because who he was outside of the ministry was not who he was inside of the ministry. And so I think you're right on. I think it's one of those things where it's easy to criticize, but do you have the desire to do what needs to be done to go where you needs to go? And, some people, honestly, especially over the years, I've noticed some students just want it more. Yeah. And they want that close relationship. And I don't want to say it in a weird way, but I'm not going to waste time discipling the kid who doesn't want to be discipled. When there's another kid behind him who's dying for the opportunity to be raised up and taught. That doesn't mean I ignore the other kid or the kid. There's still a relationship with them and they're at a different stage. But the kid who is all in and who's trying to be a leader within the team and is trying to live up, you put a little bit more effort in that kid because they're going to put more effort in all the other students. Yeah. And they're going to help you build something and multiply something. And again, usually the people who complain are the ones who don't want to step up and be anything else. They want you to step down and pat them on the back and cater them and appease what they're doing, even though they don't want to do anymore.
That was good stuff.
That was good stuff. Yeah. Yeah. As always.
That was good stuff. Hey, we were really excited to hear from Joey Silva. That was a phenomenal interview. Well done, sir. We love you so much. Students, leaders, we wanted to let you guys know that the full interview will be available on Monday. That was just a portion of the interview. And there are even more nuggets for you guys to get a hold of when that thing drops on Monday. So be looking forward to that as well. What did you guys think of that interview? It was pretty sweet, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A lot of crazy, intense stuff that you guys went over, but definitely awesome.
Yeah. Josh, what do you think, man?
I would agree. Just like so many things, like every little thing that you guys would say is like, I could write that down. And then like, all right, just finish writing. Oh, there's another one.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy because, between Joey and I, we just have years of experience in youth ministry. And, I feel like maybe I probably got more wrong than I got right in youth ministry. But experience is always the best teacher. And I think just through the years of youth ministry, being able to kind of reflect on some of the decisions I made and the relationships that I've had with students over the years, it's really just taught me a lot. A lot of times I can teach people based on what I've done right, and most of the time I can teach people based on what I've done wrong. Do not do this. I made this mistake in youth ministry. Speaking of just being kind of out there and wrong and putting yourself out there just a little bit, earlier in the show you guys said that you had no problem. You think you could easily identify hamburgers in a blind taste test challenge.
I was humble. I said that I might be able to. He said that he could 100%. Easily.
You are very humble, Josh. You talk about it a lot. You talk about how humble you are a lot. So I agree. I agree. Cole, but you are very confident, right? You're like 100%. I will absolutely not fail this test, even though your palate has been warped by Taco Bell. Do you think you got this?
I think it's been strengthened by Taco Bell.
You think so?
100%.
He's ready for good food. He's ready for good food.
Yeah,
good food.
I think your blood pressure has been strengthened by Taco Bell.
Let's go.
All right, so here's the deal, guys. We are going to cue the music. It is time for our end of the ISM Show challenge. Buddy Barrel, bring out the goods. We have
buddy.
gotten
Come on, buddy.
Buddy, we love you. We love your roundness. We love your yellowness. It is always good to see you. Can you go ahead and get out of the way now? Thank you very much. It was great to see you, buddy. Listen, here's the deal, guys. We have a plate of burgers in front of you, and what we're going to do is we are going to give you guys a blind taste test challenge to see if you can identify what hamburger is from what restaurant. So with Movie Magic, we are going to instantly get your blindfolds on in 3, 2, and 1. And just like that with Movie Magic, we are ready to go in our blind taste test challenge. Now, in front of these boys, we have got 5 burgers from fast food chain establishments, and these guys are going to try and guess in a blind taste test which hamburger they are actually eating. So here's how this is going to work, boys. You are going to be told that you can taste the burger. You will take a bite of the burger. It can be as big or as small as you want it to be. And then I am going to count to 3 when you're done chewing, and you are going to guess what burger it is at the same time. And at the end of the show, we're going to let you guys know how you stacked up and what you got right and what you got wrong. Sound good?
Alrighty.
All right, so let's go ahead and kick this pig. Let's get this thing started. Boys, the first burger is in front of you, and we are going to be displaying what burger is in front of them so that you know what they're biting into, and you will know in real time if they are right or wrong. Go ahead and try it out. Do you feel like the bun might give it away? A little bit?
I have no idea.
Sesame seed versus non-sesame seed. I see Cole is feeling for corners.
How'd you know?
Corners of what?
Okay. The
Are
corners
we
of...
gonna go?
Yeah, go. Take a bite.
All right.
Here we go. All right. Savor it. Get that flavor in your mouth. Get that cold cheeseburger film.
A lot of ingredients I don't like.
Okay. Josh, you're like a plain cheeseburger kind of guy, aren't you? Like,
I
no.
am.
But these are fully equipped cheeseburgers, how they come. All right? Count of 3. Ready?
I didn't get a big enough bite.
That's too bad. Ready?
Taste mustard.
1, 2, 3.
Dairy Queen.
Whoa! All right.
Come on.
Let's see here.
It has
Okay.
to be. It has to.
I thought you
Try to high five.
I thought you said, come on.
There it is.
You said, come on. I was like, oh, he's going for a high five.
Nope.
Yeah.
All right, guys. You made your first guess. It is time for burger number 2. You may grab the buns.
Oh my gosh.
This is hard.
Oh my gosh.
What have you done?
This is.
I think.
I think I know. Are you taking a bite? Did you take a bite?
Hang on.
Would you like to
Okay.
take a guess without taking a bite?
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would. I think I would.
1, 2, 3.
McDonald's.
They're McDonald's. All right, here we go. Burger number 3. What could it be? You boys are allowed to grab it and bite it. I'm in so much suspense right
Okay.
I got it.
now. You feel? Oh, man.
This is so heavy.
It's a heavy burger. So do you feel like that gives you a clue?
No.
Okay, would you like to take a bite at some time this year, Josh?
Yeah. Ah, not gonna bite there.
Ooh, I got it. I got it.
I know we can't see all of Josh's face, but you guys have to understand how much he hates anything other than ketchup and mustard on his burger. Everything beyond that is just... This is probably more vegetables than Josh has eaten in 10
my entire
years.
life.
Right here. That's actually kind of sad. All right. You boys ready for the countdown?
Yep.
That's absolutely horrible.
1, 2, 3.
Rallies.
Okay.
I have no idea. That's what I was gonna
Okay.
say. It's
Okay.
too big.
You guys can go ahead and make your initial feel test.
Ooh.
Once you grab that burger,
Oh.
you can palm it. You know?
Huh.
What's the weight?
2 pounds.
2 pounds.
All right. I said 2-pound burger. everybody. Oh, man. That would
Oh my
be
goodness.
awful to eat a 2-pound
What a-
hamburger.
Sesame.
Did you take
Right.
a bite?
Go for the bite,
I'll go
boys.
for
I don't bite there.
Got some tickle in that one.
Did you say pickle or tickle? Is it bad, Josh?
Pickle.
Okay. Is this the worst burger you've had or the best burger you've had?
I don't want to buy it.
You don't want to chew it? Chew it, Josh.
Come on. Ew! Oh, I can only just hear what you're doing.
It's all over.
What?
It's all over. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Burger King.
Burger King.
This is the final burger. You guys go ahead and grab that thing and take a bite and tell us what you think it might be. All right, we are getting the initial feel in. Getting some sniffies in. Do you think a burger? Do you think a burger smells different from restaurant to restaurant?
Yes.
Okay, Josh has the bite down. Cole is still really analyzing the burger. He's analyzing the cheese of the burger.
Okay.
If you would take a bite, that would be
All
fantastic.
right. There we go.
Just tastes like every other one that I've eaten so far.
That was a bad bite.
Pure Phil.
I have no idea what.
What's happening right now
Oh, I taste the onion all
is
up in
that
one.
inside both of their stomachs, there is a mixture of competing fast food hamburger bits. And I'm telling you, I don't know what science there is. I don't know what kind of biochemistry is taking place.
But I
I promise you that these boys are not going to be okay in a couple of hours. All right, ready? We're going to count it down from 3, and you're going to announce what burger you think it is. Ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Burger
Rallies.
King. I have to go different so I can try to.
Rallies and Burger King. Okay.
I think it is
Well-
Rallies, but they got to go different.
The winner of this week's show, totally redeeming himself, and I think this is 2 losses in a row for you now, Josh. The winner is CALLIES.
Yeah.
So Cole lost a close match week 1, right?
Yeah.
Close.
And then Cole came back and represented himself at the very end of the egg roulette challenge, and just by the skin of your teeth was able to pull off an upset victory. And Josh, like a sore loser, actually cracked his losing egg on your head. How do you? Are you still bitter about that, Cole?
A little bit.
A little bit bitter about that. And
That's
so,
okay. I
Cole,
don't care.
you won the blind taste test challenge. How confident are you guys that you would be able to nail this? Can you guys just maybe go out and do this? Maybe if you and some of your family members or some of your friends want to have some fun, go out to some of your local fast food restaurants and do a blind taste test challenge and let us know how you do as well. And also make sure to join us next week for episode 4 of the ISM Show. We are going to be doing a really funny challenge called Spicy Food, Spicy Scripture. We're going to eat something super, super spicy, and we are going to read some spicy scripture out of the Song of Solomon and see if we can actually get through it. We are also going to have a panel of students joining us on the ISM Show next week, telling us about how their quarantine is going, what they're doing to publish their faith, and also, importantly, what they're doing to raise money for Speed the Light and how important missions is to them. So please make sure you join us next week on the ISM Show. I hope you guys had a great time. Love you all. Have a good one. See you later.